welcome to ET Studios, Future Brands of India in association with ET Retail. I'm Hemanshi Tewari. Now in this episode, we have someone who has changed the game of D2C with the statement bags. Joining me is Mohit Jain, founder, Miraggio. Mohit, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Same. Thank you so
All
much.
right. So Mohit, you started Miraggio in 2020. But what was Mohit doing before that?
I started my entrepreneur journey at the age of 20. I've seen challenges in the family with my father losing a big business a decade ago. And I started a dropship business while I was in Canada at the age of 20 doing my studies there. And did about 56 crore rupees of revenue in that business in 2.5 years of span. But the hunger to do something large and create a larger impact was always there. And finally, then I decided to move back to India in 2019. And then I started Miraggio. And since then, I've been working on Miraggio.
All right, so Miraggio saw a staggering growth of 120% year-on-year basis. So what will you say when it comes to, a company growing that much? So what would be your USP and what is your differentiating factor that you have achieved such success?
Correct. So there is a clear-cut gap in the market, where consumer are looking for aspirational product in an affordable price point, which means is they're looking for an aspirational design, a brand that they can resonate with, a good quality experience. And when I say experience, it's not just the packaging experience, it's also about omni-channel experience. As a brand as a whole, what experience are you delivering? What aspirational value are you delivering? I think these are key differentiators that we're able to provide to consumers. And if I were to summarize in one line, luxury made accessible, right, for larger set of consumers in India. Whereas before Miraggio, handbags or aspirational handbags was accessible to only, let's say, 2 to 3% of the audience who could actually afford a certain price point. So I think that's where we have done our job for a larger set of an audience in India.
All right, so I'll come to understanding the consumer segment that you deal in. But before that, Mohit, please explain us what is luxury to you. What do you mean by luxury? Because there are a lot of brands using luxury, the term luxury. So I really want to know it from your perspective.
Correct. So first of all, I would like to correct myself. I would not call ourselves as luxury brands, but premium brands. There is a very clear, distinct differentiation. But what premiumness can be, it's an element in many ways, right? From how the brand personality is in terms of our social media imagery and the kind of content, the kind of people we resonate with, the celebrities, the collaborations we do, to the overall experience of unboxing. You getting a bag with a dust bag in a box is overall a premium experience compared to you getting a bag in just a, let's say, poly bag, right? From also the quality price point, the detailing, the attention to detail in everything, not just the product, right? Even the customer service. So for instance, if somebody calls us up and say, hey, I want a bag quickly because it's my birthday or it's my wife's birthday, my team makes sure that there is a personalized note that is going with it, specifying about their birthday from our side, without them asking for it or informing us. So I think all of these attention to detail factors is premium and something that makes consumer feel more confident about carrying a certain brand value, and that is built over years by adding these elements to the brand. So I think that's what the premiumness is for us.
All right, so we have also seen a lot of collaborations that you were talking about, a lot of celebrity collaborations, a lot of influencer collaborations. So how much these collaborations help any kind of D2C brand to kind of survive or grow in India?
In today's era, it is the most important thing, especially celebrities and collaborations with international brands, artists, or celebrities, in fact. So, for example, we just did Miraggio and Demi 4 months back as a collection, and it did wonders for us. We did a celebrity event in Bombay, followed by a lot of PR outreach and digital media. And this is very important. Why? Because this helps create aspirational value. And all these celebrities already have a value in the market, a face value in the market, and resonating the right set of celebrities with the brand helps the brand actually get the right eyeballs from the consumers, right? And with collaborations, it creates exclusivity, it creates FOMO, because collaboration bags are not meant to be for available for 6 months or a year. They come with a limited inventory, right? So I think that creates the premiumness and FOMO to have that exclusive bags around it. So I think if somebody who's trying to build an aspirational brand and is trying to justify or trying to charge a higher premium price point from consumers, this is very, very important. In regards to influencers, we honestly don't spend much money with influencers. We try to take that budget and shift it to more celebrities, whereas we've done a lot of influencer collaboration, which is most of it is barter because of the kind of brand value that we have built, and influencers are interested and creators are interested in carrying a bag and creating a content with us. So I think that creates a win-win deal for both the parties.
So basically creating FOMO, and FOMO to our audience is fear of missing out. On that note, Mohit, how do you understand your consumer segment? Like, what kind of demography are you looking into when you're making bags, and what kind of audience or what kind of consumer do you have currently? And also, there are a lot of reports, and even you were telling me before that now Miraggio is more acceptable in tier 2 and beyond, like cities as well. So what will you attribute such recall value to?
Correct. So first of all, our audience is between the age group of 18 to 35, people who have knack for fashion, who are looking for aspirational products. And let me tell you, this is a very large set of an audience, and this is not a niche audience. India has more than 65% of population, which is below 35 years of age group. So now coming to how do we understand our consumer segment, and then the second part I will answer your question, which is tier 2 and tier 3. So the first part, we understand the consumer segments and consumer behavior from different verticals and different parts. So number one, we look at marketplace insights and see where consumer are buying, what value they're buying, which city they're buying from. Then we have tools that we use on our D2C channels to optimize the data, how often they're buying from, what kind of categories they're buying, are they buying cross categories. So, and we do segment our consumers in many verticals and many segments, and that's how we are able to tailor personalized marketing as per the segmentation of consumers. So and we do research, offline activations, and gather a lot of information from there as well. So this is all the information that we collect together and process and actually keep evolving the brand wherever it's required, be it in product, be it in marketing, customer service, operations. It's an ever evolving process at Miraggio. The agility in the brand remains throughout end to end. Now tier 2, tier 3, the most aspiration that we're seeing in today's market in India specifically is coming from tier 2 and tier 3. And for us, 50% plus of our revenue are coming from tier 2 and beyond cities. How we've been able to crack this and how we will continue to grow this is by understanding these consumers on a very deeper level. So number one is content. We create content what actually matters to them. So we create a content what's in my bag, because if a consumer of tier 2, tier 3 is looking for an aspirational product in affordable price, but is also looking for utility.
Yeah, and every product has to have a story.
Correct. So that's what we do. We create content that resonates with that audience, right? Second, we are available on all these platforms where their trust is today. So they probably might not be comfortable buying from a straight brand's website today because they're new to internet. They're just getting to know online. So we are available on all India's top fashion platforms, including Myntra, Amazon, Ajios, Nykaa. So all of these things helps us reach out to these consumers. We have a payment gateway method, COD payments, which helps them order from us or try from us. And this is where tier 2, tier 3 is easier for us to sort of
also
capture.
You sell products on EMI, buy now, pay later.
Correct. So we also have that method on buy now, pay later, which makes it easier for somebody who's more budgeted can actually buy it because they have to pay in 2 to 3 months. So we will look at all these factors across the brand in terms of customer service also, right? So we do call them personalized service if there is any problem in delivering the product. Our team is there to actually help them deliver the product at the right time, because there are odd addresses in tier 2, tier 3 cities. Think of Northeast, right? So it becomes difficult for logistics to sort of manage that. So I think all in all, we understand the consumer on a deeper level and make strategies and tailor strategies wherever it's required to help make them accessible, the Miraggio products in tier 2 and tier 3 cities.
All right, so you were also talking about employing tools and technologies to understand your consumers. So what sort of tools are we talking about?
So we're using one of the best CRM tools, which helps us understand customer cohorts, which helps us understand customer segments, which helps us understand RFM, which is recency, frequency, monetary, how much consumer, what consumer is coming, how frequent and how recently they came in and how much money they're spending in. So there are multiple metrics on repeat, new user, the cost per acquisition for new users, the cost for retaining new users. So I think there are n number of metrics. I can give you an entire list, right? But so we use one of the best tools, which gives us cohesive detail of all the consumers that we are dealing with in one platform, which makes it easier for my team to sort of see and have clear dashboards to understand and take actions on.
Yeah, and what are the trends about you get to know from such
Correct.
technology?
And yes, and other technologies, what we're using in the brand is, one of the things that we introduced a couple of months back is WhatsApp bot to enhance consumer experience. So more than 50% of our consumer queries are now handled by bot. There is no human intervention and then the most important thing is the consumer does not have to wait for the response. If I am actually messaging the brand at 8 o'clock in the night, at 8:01, I have a reply. And that actually helps to gauge the confidence towards the brand from the consumer, right? So I think all of these technologies we're using, and we are very bullish on incorporating technologies which will actually help combat offline challenges for consumers to make handbag shopping easier. We are working on virtual AR right now. We are working on trying to solve a problem where consumers are facing sizing problem. They sometimes feel it's too big or too large. They can't figure out in the pictures. So we're actually developing a tool where they will be able to understand basis their height, weight, what kind of bag is right for me and how it will look on my body. So these kind of stuff is in the pipeline, and we'll continue to be bullish about incorporating technology in Miraggio.
All right, so you're incorporating technology and you've talked about a lot of AI and VR that you're going to expand in, but the human touch remains relevant at Miraggio, right? Or do you think that the burning question right now that it's going to take away jobs?
No, I think AI is there to help you out, to ease out processes, to make out processes. I don't think human touch can ever be eliminated with AI completely. Yes, it might be that it might take few of the jobs, such as content writing or, such as building out processes. Now I see a lot of tools are coming to analyze the data as well. You just simply upload the master files of basic raw data and they actually help you convert into dashboards. But I don't think it will completely eliminate it, and one should use AI technology as an enabler, as a helping hand, rather than thinking of it as a problem solver or an alternate to a human. I think that's not going to happen.
All right, it's good to know that we are not losing jobs, at least for a few years now. On that note, let's come back to our topic, Mohit. From all the points that you have shared, I could gather that you are very high on customer engagement, right? So what all initiatives are you coming up with or planning for the upcoming year in terms of customer engagement that will overall, enhance your customer experience?
Right. So we are coming up with a very different concept that we might see in international countries, but we haven't seen in India, specifically in fashion segment a lot, is experiential kiosks, where it will not just be a kiosk that you and I see in all the malls, but it will be an experiential kiosk which has gamification to it, which has product offerings to it. Consumer can actually touch, feel the product and have confidence in the brand. So it is a mixture of marketing and a sales channel, right? But more experiential rather than just come, shop and go, right? So we do a lot of event activation. So I'll give you an example. We did an event in Delhi and Bombay where we put in a claw machine full of bags. This was an event of influencers and content creators. More than 150 to 200 people were active in both the events. And again, influencers were lined up for 4 hours to play the game and actually win the free bags of Miraggio, and the kind of gratification that we saw was immense.
That's instant gratification.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. And that actually helps create UGC, right? That actually helps create that emotional connection with the brand, that helps create a platform for us to gauge the feedback from consumers or influencers and content creators, because they're active in this game. They interact with thousands of brands. So I think these are few of the things that we're doing for consumer engagement. Apart from, WhatsApp bot, things that I mentioned, virtual AR will continue to, at our center heart of the company stays at customer centricity.
Customer centricity.
And whatever we feel is right and required for the brand to enhance consumer experience, will continue to keep bringing in new features in the brand.
And this explains why Miraggios has such an outstanding growth numbers for the past year. But also, what do you think about the D2C industry in India right now? It is thriving as per the reports, but what are your views on this?
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, it's not just handbags. Entire D2C market, I think India is changing. Consumers are changing. Disposable income is increasing. There is a huge shift in buying preferences post-pandemic specifically. So I think this is the market right now for any business, not just handbag business, but any business. If you're able to actually understand your consumer really well, and you are able to solve the problem and craft your niche, be it small, be it large, depending on what kind of business you want to scale, I think this is the right market. And because of access to internet in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and the penetration is increasing, the awareness for card, COD, accessibility is increasing. It's very bullish. I am very bullish when it comes to D2C and Indian market. I think people used to say that you can't build a very large brand in D2C. I think a lot of brands have already proved that wrong, and a lot of brands incoming will continue to prove that wrong as well. And I do think that in coming years we'll see very large brands or a large portion of their revenue coming from D2C because of the accessibility that provides. Take an example of Blinkit, right? Take an example of quick commerce, how accessibility has taken over consumers. So I think D2C will keep growing, but omni-channel is also very, very important. It's not like you can build the 1,000 crore rupees brand on D2C, but D2C is very, very, I'm very bullish on D2C.
So D2C is now phygital, more of a phygital kind of concept, right?
Correct. And with D2C, it's very easy for you to get into the business, right? It's accessibility for consumers, but it's also sort of easier to start the business than going offline, because that includes a lot of capital, a lot of manpower to handle that. Whereas 1 or 2 person sitting in their home can start a D2C business. So I think that ease of doing a business will enable and has enabled a lot of people, even in tier 3, tier 4 cities, to start their businesses. And I think the future in India is very, very bright.
All right, the future is bright and the D2C companies are going to thrive in India, but what about Miraggio? So how do you see Miraggio in the upcoming few years?
It's going to be thriving even more. I think we're very bullish and we're very confident on the brand we have built so far, and we'll continue to strengthen this even further. We will have a huge product diversification. We will have huge category diversifications. We will have experiential kiosks to flagship stores to make our omni-channel presence and increase our distribution channels, and also be available in LFRs, large format stores, and continue to do a very large level collaborations with either artists, brands, DJs, anybody who resonates with our audience. And the most important part for our brand is we are ever evolving, always changing, and always on trend as per consumers and as per the market. And I think our long-term vision is to be the largest and one-stop fashion accessories handbag brand in India. And I think when you interview me next time in coming 2 to 3 years, we would have been achieved by that time.
Yeah. More growth for Miraggio by that time, and I'll have some more great numbers by that time,
yes,
I'm sure.
100%.
But Mohit, as we are wrapping up this conversation, what will you tell all the D2C entrepreneurs or all the entrepreneurs who are trying to foray into the D2C space? Because you have been an entrepreneur yourself, you have failed once, now you're winning with your company. So what advice would you want to give?
I think the only advice I can give is just start. Because honestly, a lot of people, I've seen it with my friends as well, a lot of people thinks about what might go wrong, but nothing would go right or wrong if you don't start at all, right? There'll be hurdles, there'll be problems, there'll be challenges. But if you have a specific audience and a problem that you know you can solve, don't think about it, because thinking will not help you find solutions today and then start, because ultimately challenges are going to come, the hurdles are going to be there. So I think simply the simple advice is just start and find and craft your own path, and that's what I have done it. I didn't realize that there'll be so many challenges in the business that I started. I just started it, and we continue to just take one by one and just go out there. So I think simply just start and get into it. Now is the time to start the business in India. And as I mentioned, there is a huge market for anybody and everybody in India.
All right, the market is ripe. Start now if you want to. On that note, Mohit, thank you so much for your time today. Cheers to Miraggio's growth and all the best for your upcoming plans at
Thank
Miraggio.
you so much. Thank you for having me here. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much. And to our viewers, stay tuned for more such conversations only on ET Studios, Future Brands of India in association with ET Retail.